Can affect your lifestyle, retirement, legacy. Of course, we're talking about finance. And joining me now is John Byrne, the founding partner and chief investment officer at Byrne Wealth Consulting. Welcome here to CT Style, John.
Thanks, Ryan.
Thanks
nice to be with you.
Absolutely. And I have to say, you know, we're on CT Style, and you have quite the style, the patriotic style, which I love. And those socks, come on now. Doesn't get any better than that.
So, right. I'm an American. I believe in America and its history.
I like that.
I'm happy to show it today, too.
Oh, yeah, as we very well should be here celebrating the 4th of July.
Right.
And speaking of America, you kind of lived somewhat of a dream, as many people would think, on Wall Street. You're celebrating 50 years in the industry.
Yeah. You know, it's a different industry today, and it's a better industry today for investors than it was when I got in the industry. More products, more opportunities to save and invest in a safer manner. So it's a much better industry. And if it's better for the investors, it's better for the employees. I went through a very difficult time when I started my career. The Dow Jones average was 1,000, and 17 years later was 828. That was not a very good time, and what have you. So I know both sides of what can happen in this industry, as it's true with all industries.
Well, it's a very cutthroat industry. There's so much information out there. Sometimes it seems a little overwhelming for people who are not big into finance to see all the numbers on the board and everything like that. What tips do you have for people who may not be the smartest investors? What are some easy things that we can do?
Well, the most important thing, I think, for people who are trying to save, and this has changed a lot. I went through an era where you went to work for a company and they took care of you. You went from your work right to your grave.
Sure.
Retirement plans, savings plans, health plans, and that's all changed now. So we have to become savers on our own to supplement what we're getting from companies. But companies offer 401k plans and things like that, which allow you to put money away pre-tax. And that's a huge benefit. You can grow your money without taxes, and you get a tax deduction for savings. So anybody interested in saving should look very, very deeply into their company's savings plans and 401k plans. And then you have independent plans, IRAs and things like that that you can use to save money. And saving money on a pre-tax basis and compounding it without taxes will build up a nice nest egg for you in the future.
Do you have a recommended percentage that people should be putting away?
You know, that's a very good question. We had an in-depth study done on this, and where the market is today, you probably need to put away maybe 10% of your savings to get to this magical point where when you retire, you'll have 65 to 70% of what you were earning when you were at work available to you at retirement. So it's going to require a 10 to 12% commitment to that. And part of that is the fact that interest rates are so low, and that area of the market's not going to pay any money to you. So the compounding will be less because of that. So it requires more capital to go in towards achieving a lifetime dream.
Speaking of lifetime dreams, you asked me earlier what my financial goals are, and I have absolutely no idea. But let's say, hypothetically speaking, I wanted to buy a home in 5 to 10 years. What tips would you have for some of our viewers at home?
Well, the same thing. I would look closely at the contract that you might have at your company and your savings plans that would allow you to put money in pre-tax. And then, of course, you got to get it out. There's borrowing provisions, and assuming that your career will go well, and I'm sure it will, because I've seen what a great job you do on your show.
Well, thank you. Fingers crossed.
And what have you. So your income will grow. So if you were putting money away to buy a home and then you wanted to borrow out, at that point you have 2 mortgage payments, right? You got the mortgage payment on your house, and then you also have the mortgage payment to pay back the money you borrow from your 401k plan or something like that. But assuming you were successful and your income went up, you'd have the opportunity to do that. So that's a way of gaining capital, having your capital grow more quickly with the use of the government's money from putting away pre-tax money.
Well, John, I'll have to have you talk to our producer. I'll give you 10%. We'll renegotiate here. For more information, call 888-231-6372 or head on over to byrnewealth.com. John, thank you so much for joining us here today on CT Style.
Happy to be with you.
Absolutely.
It's a great show, and we're happy to be here.
Well, thank you, and happy 4th of July to you.
Same to you and
now,
yourself.
If you're